What's going on, everybody? DeVore and G Money. This is the Not for the Bay podcast. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. Be sure to follow us on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages. G Money, what's going on, man?
What's good, brother? How are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and put an announcement out real fast.
Okay.
Um, yesterday, well, first things first. As you know, well, all the people at home know that we do betting spreads on this channel, on the podcast, and
hmm
we are going to be looking forward to working with the actual site that we do our sports betting on. So, with that being said, we're in the works of getting a promo code for all the people at home that are interested in betting on the same site that we are betting on, and it's going to be pretty exciting moving forward. So be sure to look out for that for the people at home as far as how we're going to end up be doing this moving forward. So that's just a little brief announcement that I wanted to get out the way before we actually just hopped into this thing. But I'm gonna
The
let you
big
have the
announcement is huge.
yes, it's a big announcement. Yes, of course. But
hmm
I'm gonna go ahead and hand the mic over to you for a brief moment because I'm pretty sure you can get me up to speed as far as what's going on with this Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving non-vaccination situation. Just a warm up debate.
Okay, so basically, what's going on is that the city of New York, well, basically the state of New York, it's a it's a it's a widespread. You have to get the coronavirus vaccine, the COVID vaccine. Otherwise, you can't work. You can't go into certain restaurants. It's the whole state basically. So Kyrie doesn't want to get the vaccine. He doesn't believe in the vaccine, just like a lot of people don't. So he's not going to get the vaccine. He's that's his stand on it. So at first, what they said is that Kyrie just won't play home games, which that sounded ridiculous, but that's what they first said. And then it turned into he can't participate with the team until certain requirements are made. I the thing about this is Kyrie Irving's history has not been good. You know, they lost, meaning the Cavaliers lost in 2017 against the Warriors, and he felt that he wanted to separate himself away from LeBron. He wanted to be the man. So he got what he wanted. He got traded to the Celtics. He got injured that first year, so he didn't play in the playoffs, and they lost to LeBron. Then the next year he was actually healthy, and they played in the playoffs. But throughout the season, they were in a middle road team, fourth, fifth, sixth seed, playing around there. And he was telling the young guys, you don't know what you guys doing. You guys got to play better. Basically, instead of being, because he wanted to be the man, instead of taking ownership, he blamed a young Jason. Well, Jason Tatum is still young, but a younger Jason Tatum, a younger Jaylen Brown, and that core team back then. He blamed them instead of owning his ownership as being the leader. So it didn't work. So then he comes to Brooklyn. Well, before that, he gets injured. The first year in Brooklyn, he sits out for a year. Then Kevin Durant gets injured, from the previous year. They sit out. So they come back 2020, 2019 and 20, and he takes days off for mental reasons. Okay. So then he gets injured again. So it's like it seems like he's a cancer to every team that he plays on. And it's just unfortunate because he has so much of a talent. So it's like I'm kind of on the fence on this. I I'm not getting the corona vaccine. I'm just not doing it. I don't care what people say. That's just me personally. So I just don't do it. The history of this government, can't really trust them too much. So that's just me. But I'm not an NBA basketball player. I'm not getting paid millions of dollars. So I can understand people's frustration and the organization's frustration. But Kyrie has a stand and he just doesn't want to do it. Basketball doesn't seem as important to him anymore. He seems more in tune with life. And, as crazy as it might seem, he's just into that now. Basketball is like a second thing to him. So he doesn't care that he might not, he lost the extension. I think it was 4 years, 193 million, I believe. they're no longer offering that. So I don't know what's going to happen with Kyrie. I don't know if he's going to eventually get the shot, but it's just a strange situation. And some people are just angry at him. He should play. And some people are like, not everything's black and white. As a basketball fan, I want to see Kyrie Irving play. I want to see the Lakers and the Nets in the final, or whoever team comes out. But I want to see the Nets in the finals. I want to see if he can win a championship without LeBron. That's what I really want to see. But, is that going to be at the cost of his life? What he believes? He doesn't believe in the corona vaccine. That's so. It's just a strange situation. Again, I'm kind of on the fence with it. I'm not going to completely just kill him, or I'm not completely disagree with him. I'm just like, at the end of the day, it's his life. What do we decide for his life? So, that's just how I feel about it.
Okay, so let me go ahead and just get this straight. So, New York has the COVID vaccination mandate, where
Right.
Kyrie Irving, he does not want to take the vaccine. So we're at the point now where he will not be playing home games, but will be playing away games. Correct?
No, that is off the table. Now he's not participating in any team activities until he basically gets the shot. That was initially what they were going to do, but that's just so ridiculous. Like, how can you just play away games? So they took that off the table, and basically they're forcing Kyrie's hand. Either you're going to play or you ain't going to get paid.
Interesting. Okay. So I know this is a very, very sensitive topic for a lot of people. As far as the COVID vaccination, it seems like it's getting mandated almost everywhere now. Even over in my area, they're telling us that they're voting on mandating it. I believe sometime in the next couple of days, where if you don't get the COVID vaccination, you're going to have to be subsequent to possibly be getting let go if you don't get your first shot within the next couple of days. So it's coming to that point where you're going to have to end up being in a requirement that you actually have to have it. So what the interesting is going to be moving forward, not even just basketball players, not even just professional athletes, but for folks that are in, law enforcement, firefighters. Well, I know doctors at this point, they're already forced to take it at this point. But considering the fact that they're going to mandate it, are they really willing to let those? Well, they really wouldn't let those employees go just because they didn't get the vaccination, and that's going to be interesting to monitor moving forward what they decide to do with those. Those are some very, very important employees that you need out working. So it's going to be interesting, like how they plan on the next course of action is if people, including Kyrie Irving and other basketball players that they haven't stated yet. Outside of Kyrie Irving, did they say anybody else that hasn't gotten the vaccination or is making a stand with Kyrie to not get the vaccination?
Draymond said a few things. He doesn't agree to the vaccination. The Warriors organization hasn't said anything about that yet. I don't know if I don't know if he did get the shot or didn't get the shot, because people are just getting the shot just so they can live a normal life, and they don't agree with it either. But it just feels like it's being forced on people. So a lot of people are like, "Yo, I just got to get it to work this job, so let me just get it." But as far as anybody else, I haven't heard any other basketball players say anything or spoke out against it. Just Draymond and Kyrie. Well, Kyrie's not really speaking out. He's just verbalizing it. They're reporting it. But yeah.
That's interesting moving to monitor moving forward too as well. Because okay, so now let me go ahead and just ask you this question right now before we start jumping into these NFL picks. Do you think that the Brooklyn Nets are still NBA championship caliber without Kyrie Irving?
Oh, definitely. James Harden and Kevin Durant, plus with that squad they got, they could still win the championship. I wouldn't say easily, but they could still win, especially if Kevin Durant is 100% healthy and James is healthy. I don't know if the Bucks could win last year, just with them two alone. I think they'll that's enough to win a championship. I think with Kyrie and all three of them, it's most likely a lock. But with just them two, plus they got LaMarcus Aldridge back, he's healthy, and they got Paul Millsap. They still got Blake Griffin. They got what's his name from the Spurs? I forgot his name, the point guard. He's a shooter. They got him. They still got Joe Harris. I know he had a bad playoffs last season, but he can bounce back. Yeah,
Forbes,
definitely. No, not Forbes, not Forbes. The guy that was at the Spurs for a long time.
Patty
I forgot his
Mills.
name. Patty Mills. Yeah, Patty Mills. He's a shooter. So yeah, they still have enough with just James and Durant to win it all. But they would be a lock if they had all three of them, in my
Mm,
opinion.
yeah. Well, again, like you said, Kyrie causes drama everywhere he goes. So
Yeah.
I
But on this one, I don't blame him, man. It's just crazy. I don't want to get into it because I know this is a sports show, but I don't want to get the vaccine either. So
hear you. I hear you. So uh just a little quick. I just want you to feel my pain for a minute. Um as far as week five's picks, it came down to one game for me, and that was the Monday night game, the Indianapolis Colts at the Baltimore Ravens, which I picked them to go under. I believe it was 46 points, if I'm not mistaken. And
mm,
it was like a 17 parlay. And I got all the other ones right, obviously. And it came down to that game. And I remember receiving the text from Banks probably 45 seconds before halftime. He was like, "Look, well, bro, look like it's going under." I'm like, "Hey, yo, like, just be quiet. Let's get to halftime before we start celebrating." Sure enough, it
mhm.
was looking good going into the third quarter. And then the Baltimore Ravens scored 22 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, which put the game over 45 and a half points.
Over
Over. So my
50 points, right? Yeah.
my $910 went straight down the drain in that moment. And to make matters worse, Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown was on my fantasy team, and I was trailing that game in that fantasy game by, I want to say, at least 12 points. So it ended up coming down to, am I going to go ahead and get this last touchdown, or am I going to go ahead and just cost myself this fantasy game? I think moving forward, if I ever decide to if I'm gonna decide to do either one or the other. Am I going to do the sports betting, or am I going to do the fantasy football? Because it's too much for me. It's too much.
Wait, so hold on. Wait. You lost money in the fantasy football too?
No, I won
Oh,
the fantasy football game versus my opponent, but I have Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown on my team, and they were both starting. So it came down in the fourth quarter where,
oh,
am I going to risk myself, because I still needed them 12 points for
I
me
see what you're saying.
to win the game. So am I going to
Mhm.
cost myself the $910 on the under, or am I going to take the dub in this fantasy game? So I'm at the point now, moving forward, I think I might have to let go of fantasy football if we continue with the sports betting, because it's too much for me. It's literally too much.
So you would win. Obviously, you win more on the sports betting than the fantasy football.
Well, it's just a regular old, like, amongst friends, well, coworkers, I should say, where everybody put 100, I think it was
Oh, okay.
$150 in a pot, and then whoever has the best record at the end of the year ends up walking away with, I think it's like over, I think 1500 or something like that, opposed to me getting the 910 probably right now if I was to cash it out that Monday night. So yeah, I'm just gonna I think I'm just gonna
Right.
stick with sports betting moving forward, because it's just I'm just too invested into it. And I'm seriously thinking to myself, like, okay, we can't allow the Baltimore Ravens or either team to go over 48 points. So with that being said, okay, Lamar, you're gonna have to throw just one touchdown, and that one touchdown's got to go to Hollywood Brown. That's too much to be thinking about, to be honest with you. So I'm just gonna
Yo,
go ahead and
it
just
like
keep it
it
simple.
counters each other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's literally too much. So I'm just like, all right, moving forward, I'm about to just be like, All right, we're just gonna leave it at we about to just leave it at sports betting moving forward. Just and for those that just the hopped into the pod, lost my train of thought just now. We're just gonna go ahead and just hop into the picks. So with the first game, we have the Thursday night game. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a 7-point favorite. The Tampa Bay
only seven,
Buccaneers,
huh?
yeah, only 7. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just came off a dominating win versus the Miami Dolphins, and the Philadelphia Eagles came off of a miraculous comeback versus the Carolina Panthers.
Tampa. I would take 7 points. Seems too little.
Yeah, it does. But personally, I like this. I like this bet. I really do. And I'm about to and I'm gonna tell you what I did. I'm gonna tell you what I did because you see the 7 points. So I obviously took Tampa Bay in the 7 points. Would you agree with that, considering how the Philadelphia Eagles are your football team?
I'll take Tampa Bay money line. I think 7 points is too much. I think they'll win by 10, 14.
Okay, so yeah, so you'll definitely take Tampa Bay with the points because you don't see the Eagles being able to match the 7 points. So you definitely take your money line them, and you're going to take Tampa Bay with the points. So personally, this is me. Right. I'm going to go ahead and go. Excuse me, while I pull this up real fast. I went ahead and did the 7 points for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I also did the over, which is 52.5 points. So I can see them both. Can you see the Eagles and Tampa Bay Buccaneers scoring over 52.5?
I can see that. I can see like some similar to the game they lost, like a 42-30 game, something like that. I can see something like that, yeah. Because they can score when they want to, the Eagles, and we know Tampa can score. So, Tampa I think the over would be safe on this.
Okay, cool. So, again, like me, I went ahead and did the 7. I gave Tampa Bay the 7, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with the 52.5 over. That's what I did for that game. But you gonna go ahead and just go strictly money line.
Before we continue.
Okay, go ahead, do your thing.
Money line, yes. But before we continue, no love for my team. Like, come on, man. We came back against the Carolina Panthers. I didn't see nothing in the chat. Nothing. I just want to say that. So go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. Me and Banks was sitting watching the game on Sunday, and Banks was telling me when I believe Jalen Hurts threw that second pick, and he was like, well, it's looking like the Philadelphia Eagles is going to go ahead and wrap up the season now. Jalen Hurts, you're going to be out of Philadelphia. We're going to go ahead and just push forward to that 2021 NFL draft. And then, all and behold, the Philadelphia Eagles ended up coming back and beating the Carolina Panthers, which I was shocked myself. Shut Banks up, but I'm gonna go ahead and give them credit. But at the end of the day, we got this juggernaut up here in Tampa Bay that I don't think y'all can mess with them at this point.
I don't think anybody can. Well, maybe Arizona, maybe the Rams, but yeah, none of the teams can mess with the Buccaneers right now.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, as far as when we evaluated the NFC East this year, well, before the season even started, we had the New York Giants and the Washington football team as the front runners of the NFC East, and we got this completely backwards. Currently sitting right now, you have the Dallas Cowboys at number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles at number 2, and then you have the Washington football team, and then the New York Giants sitting in 4th place. So we got this all wrong. Literally, just all wrong.
All wrong.
But But back to the topic at hand, you were going to go ahead and go with the money line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to go ahead and take the over with the 52.5 points. And also, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers being able to win the game by more than 7 points. Next game, we have the Miami Dolphins versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. And the Miami Dolphins are a 3.5 point favorite. Now, we have had some serious discussions.
That's so disrespectful.
we have had some serious discussions about the Miami Dolphins over the previous weeks. And at this point, I don't trust the Miami Dolphins because at this point, the Dolphins, anything could happen with them. Anything could happen. Maybe the light bulb will just click on for them where they just might end up pulling this game out. But me personally, if I'm telling the folks at home right now, I'm letting y'all know right now, try to stay away from the Miami Dolphins as much as possible this week. If you have no choice because you have nothing else to bet on, go ahead and do it. But stay away from the Miami Dolphins. But for the folks at home, I'm gonna go ahead and roll the dice. Again, try to keep this off your ticket as much as possible. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the dice. I'm gonna have the Dolphins go ahead and cover the 3.5 points. Just have them cover the 3.5 points. So that's what I'm going with this.
That's it.
That's it. I'm not doing nothing else with it.
I agree.
If that's it.
I just want to say, the Dolphins, if they lose to an 0-5 team, just forget about this season. Like already, you should start forgetting. But like if they lose to Jacksonville, I'm done. Like I'm completely just done with the Dolphins because they can surprise you with a loss like this. But I would go with the points. I would take the points, and that's it. I wouldn't touch money line. I wouldn't go over under. Just stick with the points. That's it.
Yeah, I 1000% agree with you on that one. So yeah, definitely we're just gonna stick with the points, plain and simple. It's 3.5 points. Like it's a low risk, high reward type. Well, I wouldn't even say that because like I said, it's the Miami Dolphins. Try to leave them off your ticket as much as possible. But again, if you got no choice, go ahead and take the bet with the Dolphins and take the 3.5. That's our personal opinion. The next game we have up is the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. And they have the Indianapolis Colts as the 9.5 point favorite. Obviously, I'm weighing towards the Indianapolis Colts winning this game. And my own again, this is a divisional game. And like I stated in the last pod when we end up doing the bets, I try to stay away from division rivalry games because me sitting here looking at the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans, they're not a bad team. They're just not talented. And they show heart in every game that they play. So with that being said, I'm looking at the Indianapolis Colts. You just came off a heartbreaker versus the Baltimore Ravens. You literally let them score 22 unanswered points. How are you going to come out in this game in response to that loss to Baltimore on a short week? And I have no doubt in my mind that the Indianapolis Colts could pull this game off, but to give them 9.5 points, that's a little suspicious to me. So I
agree.
I think I'm going to go ahead and have the Houston Texans cover that 9.5. So it's going to be coming down to like 7, maybe 4 points, 4-point game, something like that. And also, actually, you know what? Now that I'm sitting here looking at it, I'm going to go ahead and go with the under. And the under is 44.5 points. So that's I'm just saying, you look at the Texans. They was held scoreless versus the Buffalo Bills. And I feel like the Indianapolis Colts have a pretty good defense to hold them to hold them to at least 10. I think they can hold them to 10. Or maybe what you think? Am I being a little bit too optimistic about this?
I think that you're gonna learn your lesson about over and I think over and under is probably the hardest one to score, to grade or to do, because you just never know when team can score 0 points one week, come back and score 30 the next week. So it's kind of hard to judge that. Like I mean, the Colts did score 25 points until then they did hold that offense in Baltimore, up until the fourth quarter. So I can see under being a safe bet, but you just never know with the over under. You can never know with that. I think the safe bet is the Texans will cover that 9. So I would go with that, and I probably go under 2, but you just never know. You just never know. 24. What is it? 44. So if somebody scores 30 and somebody scores 20, you're gone. It's gone. So you just never know. But I think under is the safe bet. I think the Texans are not Baltimore, and if they can hold Baltimore up until the fourth quarter with what was it, 3 points or something like that? If they can hold them, they can hold the Texans. So I think under is a safe bet. But you just never know. Could be any given Sunday. The team could just come out and score. But under is the safe bet.
Right. That's definitely a tough one. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that one off my ticket too as well.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Another divisional game. The Green Bay Packers are a 4.5 point favorite. Now, last week, I'm pretty sure we both ended up taking the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Chicago Bears last week. And somehow the Chicago Bears was able to edge this dub out versus the Raiders. Obviously, the rumors surrounding the Las Vegas Raiders organization with the resignation, at the time, with the rumors about John Gruden going around, was obviously a team distraction, which probably led to the Las Vegas Raiders losing this game versus the Chicago Bears. But I think the Chicago Bears are going to go right back to where they were, and I'm going to go ahead and take the Green Bay Packers, and they're going to go ahead and cover the 4.5 points. That's my honest opinion, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
I mean, they only beat Cincinnati by 3. And Cincinnati is not that much better team than the Bears, but I actually, me personally, I get what you're saying, but I would take money line Green Bay. I could see a game going down to 3 points. What's the over under? Because it's definitely going under. Because I don't see the Bears keeping up with Green Bay. That's not going to happen. I think the going under would be safe on this one too. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I can see Green Bay scoring a lot, but I don't see the Bears keeping up with them because their offense. I don't want to say they got lucky, but they played the Raiders with all those distractions. And I mean, it's not like he had a tremendous game. Fields, 12 for 20, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. That's mediocre. That won't get it done against Green Bay, keeping up with Green Bay's offense. So I think the under would be the safe bet. As far as the points of the money line, this hard. I mean, I think I would stay with money line.
Chicago scored 14 points in the second quarter and 6 points in the fourth quarter versus that Las Vegas Raiders defense. Do I really trust the Chicago Bears defense to be able to hold Aaron Rodgers and then
But if you look at Green Bay's offense, I mean, they're not as potent as they used to be. They got some struggles too, so you just never know.
You never know. There's no way is Justin Fields able to cover 4.5 points. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Green Bay the 4.5.
Okay.
I'm giving the 4.5. I was about to take that pick back, but we're gonna go ahead and give Green Bay the 4.5. Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Washington football team. The Chiefs are 6.5 point favorite.
It's a safe bet. This is easy. This is Kansas City with the points all the way. But we go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I'm pretty sure Kansas City is pretty pissed off the Sunday night game after the Buffalo Bills game being only held to 20 points, if I'm not mistaken, and going into Washington with their secondary issues. I think it's a safe bet to go ahead and take Kansas City covering the 6.5.
Yeah, this is no debate for me. But we did mention out Banks and I that Kansas City's starting to lose their flair, their shine, or whatever you want to call it. Teams are starting to get to them and frustrate Holmes because they're a big hit home running team. They don't do any short dinking dunks. They don't throw the ball across the middle. They always big runs. So when you stop that, it makes it hard for Kansas City to operate. But then the Washington football team, their secondary is injured and just not playing well. So yeah, this is the safest bet probably on the ticket, probably on the whole schedule.
Yeah, the whole card. And I'm going to be bold enough to go ahead and take the over on this game too as well. Because again, Kansas City's defense is not that good. And like I said, I feel like after the loss versus the Buffalo Bills, the Chiefs are going to come out, try to make a statement. And I could see them putting up 40 by themselves. Especially with the deficiencies in the secondary for the Washington football team.
Yeah. I think taking the money line and not the money line, sorry, the points and the over would be definitely safe on this one because I think Washington football team, they have weapons downfield, so they can score against. I think anybody can score against Kansas City. They're just god awful on defense. They're just terrible. I haven't seen a defense this bad with a great offense in a long time. Like I don't even remember the last team that had a great offense and a terrible defense. Like it's just not even the same. They don't even complement each other. It's just their defense is just god awful. Like they really need to work on that. But yeah, that's the safest bet on the ticket.
So we're gonna go ahead and go with Kansas City covering the 6.5, and we're gonna go ahead and go with the over.
Yeah,
safe. I like it. Safe. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. Now,
this one is hard.
Well, first things first. Let me ask you this: Are the Carolina Panthers pretenders? Contenders or pretenders?
Maybe it's the NFC East. Maybe it just has to do with the NFC East. They lost to the Cowboys and then to the Eagles. As far as pretenders or contenders, pretenders. I don't think that they're better than Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Arizona, Seattle. Who else? I know I'm missing a team. Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't think they're better than those 5 teams in the NFC. So yeah, I think that they have potential, but not this year. I think this year they'll be the middle of the road team, maybe 10-7, something like that. They probably win their division, but I don't see them as
hell no. They're not winning that division.
Yeah,
they're not winning that division. That's Tampa Bay, I think.
Who don't win the division? Oh well, yeah, Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay is the front runner for that. That's not happening. I don't see that happening at all. But back to the pick though. I'm going to go ahead and give Minnesota the 1.5. And I'm probably going to money line Minnesota too as well.
I completely agree with you. And I think that this is going to go under.
I like you said, it's very, very hard to tell. And after this past week, I don't think if it's absolutely necessary, I'm not going to pick an over and under. But if I do, I'm going to go to over. And I did it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I did it for the Kansas City Chiefs that I know they're going to be guaranteed to be putting up some points, and possibly even the Buffalo game. But we're going to get to the Buffalo game soon. But definitely, I'm going to go ahead and go with Minnesota with the 1.5.
I agree.
Next up, we have the Los Angeles Chargers at the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are a 3-point favorite. Now, the Chargers just came off of a phenomenal win versus the Cleveland Browns. And obviously, the Monday night game, the Baltimore Ravens had a 22 unanswered point fourth quarter versus the Indianapolis Colts. Now, if you're willing to be bold this game, considering the fact that the Chargers are the underdog, if you want to be bold,
The Chargers?
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chargers with the money line pick.
Hey, everybody. Chargers money line. Chargers are the better team. I don't know why they're the underdogs. I don't get that. Chargers are the better team. I think the Chargers will be right there. I think they're one of the teams. We were talking about it. Which AFC team has? I think that the Chargers, in my opinion, may be the best team in the AFC right now, other than Buffalo. So I'm going with the Chargers. I know Baltimore. They can't keep having these comebacks and having Lamar carry them to a win. It's not going to work every week. I don't see it working this week. The Chargers are the better team. Money line the Chargers. Safe bet. And go the over. Go the over as well.
Go to over. So you might as well go. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Chargers and give them the 3 points too. I say they cover.
Okay.
I say they cover the 3 points.
I mean, that's good too. I agree.
I don't know about the over though. That's the thing. I don't know about that over.
Well, the Chargers defense, are they better than the Colts defense?
No.
Okay.
No.
So then Baltimore can keep up with them scoring.
Like I said, I don't even want to touch that. I don't want to touch it.
They just scored 42 points. They're 47. Sorry, they scored 47 points.
I don't want to touch it at all. I don't want to touch it. I'm going to leave it alone. Okay. I'm just going to leave it alone. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Detroit Lions. The Cincinnati Bengals are a 3.5-point favorite.
I'm shaking my head because this has nothing to do with money line or bets. It's just that the Lions, man, every single week, they're in every single game right up until the end, and they just can't close it. That's like somebody trying to be a great salesman, and they pitch it, and they get the people to be intrigued, but they can't close it. It's like, oh, they're right there, but they can't finish it. Oh, it's so frustrating. But Cincinnati is the safe bet on this one. As far as the over-under, I know you don't like to touch it. But what is the over-under?
47.5.
I mean, they can score. But I'll stay away from the over-under on this one. I don't know. I think Cincinnati money line is the safe bet. Not money line. Sorry, I keep confusing that. Say Cincinnati, the points is the safe bet. They can cover.
The 3.5. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the 3.5 too as well. I don't think I want to touch anything else except for the 3.5. Well, money line, of course, too. Money line and the 3.5. I'm gonna go ahead and do money line and the 3.5 for that game. Okay. Next we have the Los Angeles Rams at the New York Giants. The Rams are a 10.5-point favorite.
Safe. Take the Rams. Take them. I don't care how you take them. Take them money line. Take them points.
I don't know about that 10.5 though. I don't trust that 10.5. Maybe I'll take the over.
But you trust the New York Giants?
I don't know what. That's another team where I don't know what team we gonna get out of the New York Giants.
Didn't he go down? The quarterback, didn't he get injured?
Daniel Jones did go down, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And Saquon Barkley's not playing.
So Saquon ain't there. Okay, Galladay not there. Okay.
Yeah, the Rams are safe.
Okay. Thank you for reminding me because I totally forgot all about that. 10.5 though. That's a lot of points.
That'll be fine. I don't see the Giants playing well at all. They don't have their quarterback and their running back.
Ooh, that's a lot of points. 10.5. That is a lot of points.
Okay, so watch the Rams win by like 15, and you're gonna be like, damn.
You know what? All right. See, I'm gonna go ahead and go with you on this one. This is on you. 10.5 points. I'm gonna take the Rams to cover the 10.5.
Okay.
I might even take I ain't gonna take the over. I'm gonna leave it to 10.5 because I really didn't want to even touch this game either.
Don't touch the over on this one.
I don't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to touch it because again, we don't know what kind of Giants team we're gonna get. We don't know, and I don't trust the Giants based off of what happened in Week 2 versus the Washington football team. I don't trust the Giants. I don't. It was
crazy, just like you said earlier. I picked the Giants to win the division, and they're just awful. Even with their quarterback and running back, they're still bad.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't trust the Giants. Next game, we have the Arizona Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are a 3-point favorite.
This is
Again, are you feeling bold? Because the Cardinals are the underdog in this game. I would go ahead and go money line the Cardinals. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the Cardinals are going to be able to cover the 3 points.
I would be safe with that. And I would also go the over on this one as well. I think Cleveland can score against anybody. They just don't have enough to close too, just like similar to the Lions. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. This is going to be a good game. I see this going down to the wire possibly.
I'm at the point where obviously with Baker Mayfield with the labrum injury, I don't think, me personally, I don't like Baker Mayfield in the shootout, especially versus the Cardinals. And then, of course,
he was just in the shootout with the Chargers. What do you mean?
I'm just saying the Chargers.
They only lost by 5 points.
The Cardinals have a way better defense than the Chargers. We talking about you gotta deal with Chandler Jones, you gotta deal with JJ Watt, and also you gotta deal with Kyler Murray. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and try to compare the two between Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray, but I'm just saying I feel like I feel like the Cardinals are able to cover the 3 points. That's not my problem. It's the over and under is my problem because it's just so hard to predict elite defenses versus elite offenses. Like you said last week, the Chargers put up over 40 points against the Browns, and the Browns are supposed to have one of the best defenses in the league. So it's like it's very, very hard. It's very, very hard for me to determine if I want to go ahead and go with the over and under for this game. But I'm definitely going to moneyline the Arizona Cardinals just because I feel like the Arizona Cardinals are better offensively. And I'm going to go ahead and have them cover the 3 points.
I agree with you. But me personally, I would go over.
Dangerous. Dangerous. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are a 3.5-point favorite, which personally, I was surprised. The Raiders losing their head coach, I strongly believe, made them the underdog in this game. So I'm going to be bold. I feel like, considering how all these reports came out of how much that John Gruden was a douchebag, I feel like the next man up as far as being the interim head coach, I can't think of his name off the top of my head at this particular moment. I feel like he will have the Las Vegas Raiders playing a whole lot better than the way John Gruden was coaching them. And I feel like they will be able to cover the 3.5 and also edge out this win against the divisional rival in the Denver Broncos.
I think his name is Rich Basecki. I'm so sorry if I pronounce your last name wrong. That is the interim head coach. He was the special teams coach, and he got promoted to interim. But as far as this pick here, I'm going to go with the Broncos to cover the points, and I would also go Broncos money line. I just think the Raiders need another week or so to recover from that mental shenanigans, crazy stuff. And I just think that the Raiders are starting to come down. And Denver, to me, is the better team, offensively and defensively. So I would go with the Broncos, in my opinion.
I can respect that. And I'm gonna turn around and go ahead and place this tick again because I'm definitely going to moneyline the Raiders. I'm moneylining the Raiders. I feel it, G. I feel it. The Raiders.
What is out for you, bro?
I'm feeling the Raiders right now.
If this was, let me tell you something. If this was the Raiders team if this was the Oakland Raiders with that type of mentality, they would have said, "Man, F that coach. Let's go out there and just win for us." The Oakland mentality would have had that, but Las Vegas, I don't know.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
Okay.
I trust the Raiders enough. I trust them enough.
Okay.
And,
I hope so.
Even though we trusted them last week, but we should have had no business trusting them last week, considering what happened. Did them allegations come before or after we had
I
the
think it
pod?
was. I think it was after, right? Yeah.
I can't
Came
remember.
out on Sunday. It came out on Sunday, I believe.
Nah. Like as far as what John Gruden said about DeMaurice Smith, as far as the Michelin tires comment.
That's disrespectful. But yeah, I think it came out after.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure no, I definitely wouldn't have been. I don't think I would even change my pick versus the Chicago Bears because I just felt like the Raiders was just a more talented team, and
I mean,
that went
yeah, that's the
that went
safe bet.
sideways. That that
Yeah, it
that,
did.
that literally went sideways. That went sideways. Uh, the next game we have the Dallas Cowboys at the New England Patriots. The Dallas Cowboys are a 4-point favorite.
Let me just say something. I agree 100% with Quinte. Mac Jones is looking like he's the future. Like he just plays the game the right way. He doesn't do too much, doesn't do too little. He plays the game the right way. Having said that, the Cowboys on the roll. Cowboys cover the points, and I would take a money line, and I would take the under on this one. That's what I would do. But yeah, Cowboys, they're on the roll, man. I hate giving the Cowboys credit, but they're playing well.
Okay, so the under is going to be 51 and a half. Are you comfortable with the 51 and a half?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the Cowboys with the 3.5 points, and I was gonna be the 4 points, and I'm gonna leave it at that because the way New England came out versus the Houston Texans, I believe the Houston Texans came out and they held them scoreless within the first quarter. I believe it was
Yeah.
10-0 going into the second, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
I'm scared for the New England Patriots right now. I'm literally scared for the Patriots, and I feel
They
like the
won the
Dallas
game though, right?
Cowboys. Yeah, they won. The New England
Okay.
Patriots won, but still, like if we was playing a premier caliber team like the Dallas Cowboys, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys will be able to take care of business, in my honest opinion. So again,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and take Dallas Cowboys with a 3.5, and then take the Dallas Cowboys with a 3.5. Outside of that, again, I'm staying away from that over and under. 3.5. That's all you get from me.
I think the under will be fine. I think you go under, you'll be fine.
Oh,
But
Dallas can score some points now. Dallas can score some points, and
that's
then
true.
that defense ain't no joke. So I'm just saying, New England ain't got enough firepower to be able to hang with that.
True.
So it's iffy for me. It's iffy for me. But next pick, Sunday Night Football. The Russell Wilson-less Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a 4.5-point favorite. I'm taking the
Let me just
Pittsburgh
say
Steelers.
that yes. Let me just say that Ben actually played pretty decent last week, and the offense finally looked like they were in rhythm. The defense has always been there all year. The defense has kept them in games, but the offense last week actually played well enough to win the game, even though the defense won the game at the end. So I just want to give us, big up to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hopefully it keeps it going. I'm a fan. I can't, be honest with you. But without Russell Wilson, how can you expect the Seahawks to go in Pittsburgh and win? I don't see it. I just can't see it. Pittsburgh, clearly.
Can I possibly sell you on Geno Smith being a veteran
Come
in
on,
the
man.
NFL?
Come on, man. Geno
You're not
Smith?
you're not a believer in Geno Smith?
Not anymore.
The fact that you was at some point is surprising to me. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and give the 4.5 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then we clearly don't have any faith in the Seattle Seahawks being able to edge out this dub or to cover anything. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave it at the Pittsburgh Steelers with the 4.5. Last but not least, we have the Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. The Buffalo Bills are a 4.5-point favorite.
You and that other Dolphin fan in our group, you and the other Dolphin fan in our group are going to continue to stop disregarding this team and that man, Josh Allen. Y'all gonna stop with this. I'm telling you, Buffalo is right now is the team in the AFC to beat. They blowing out everybody. This is Buffalo all the way. Cover the points, all that. Just Buffalo is just, to me, they just seem ready, in my opinion, at least offensively. So yeah, I can't see Tennessee winning this game, but I think you have a different take.
May I plead my case, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Buffalo came out Sunday night last week and they were just clicking. Josh Allen, his ability to run with the football, his ability to pass the ball Sunday night was phenomenal. But at the same time, that was versus the Kansas City Chiefs defense, who is currently sitting last in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Josh Allen is a bad quarterback, but at the same time, Josh Allen is very, very erratic at the wrong times. It just comes down to the opposing team. When Josh Allen makes that mistake, are you going to capitalize on it? And I feel like that's going to be the Buffalo Bills' Achilles heel moving forward, is when Josh Allen makes that mistake, makes that errant inaccurate pass. What are you going to do with that opportunity? Are you going to punt the ball, or are you going to turn around and put points on the board? That's what it is with Josh Allen. That's all it is with Josh Allen. Like I have no complaints about his talent as a quarterback, because he can make all the throws consistently. That's a question. But also,
not this year. Oh,
we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. We'll see.
What's your pick? Are you picking Tennessee?
No, I'm not picking Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go ahead and take. I'm taking Buffalo, and I might even do. I'm taking the 5.5. I'm taking the 54. I'm taking the 54 4-point over.
Oh wow, 54 points.
54 points. Tennessee can't play defense, so they're gonna be playing catch up with Buffalo. They're gonna cover the 54.
Okay.
Where you at with it? You with me? You with me or you against me? Are you gonna agree with me on this?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on this one. I'm not. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay, my man. See, you gonna make some money this week. Are you placing any bets this week, or are you sitting this one out again?
I'm gonna place a bet this week.
Okay, that's my man. That's what I'm talking about. With that being said, again, if you missed the early announcement, at the beginning of the show, we are in contacts with our personal betting site that we use on a regular basis, and we're going to have a collaboration with them moving forward. So be sure to look out for that. We look forward to you guys signing up with our betting site. They're very, very reliable. In my opinion, I've already hit on 2 tickets, and they was able to cash me out with the quickness. So I'm hoping that you guys can benefit from the same site. But with that being said, G, did you have anything else that you wanted to add before we ended up closing this thing out?
No, I just want to say to the people that that wake up with physical or mental pain, or even sometimes both. I know that these last 2 years for a lot of people have been tough and rough, and family members and people have passed away over this COVID situation or whatever it was. You just have to find whatever it is for you that keeps you going. For me, it's this podcast and talking shit with the boys on the chat, my son and my mother, certain friends. That's where I find my peace and my happiness. So whatever it is that's bringing you down or that's holding you back, just let it go. Don't even stress it. It's too much going on in life to be stressing. When you find peace, it's just so much better. And I feel like I'm almost there. So that's all I want to say. And somebody just said something in the chat. I'd like to add that the Ravens are going 15-2. Okay. I mean, hey, if that's what you want to believe, brother, I don't hate on you. I'm a Steelers fan, so I can't really. If they do, good for them. But I just don't want them to do it as a Steelers fan. I'm sorry.
That's funny coming from Rainer Raven. By the way, shout out to Rainer Raven in the chat. Be sure to follow him on his Twitch channel. Because I be seeing him on the regular basis talking about Lamar Jackson on Twitter.
But talking about him like he doesn't think he's good, or
I'm not gonna say he didn't say he wasn't good, but I'm just gonna say he was talking about Lamar Jackson. So with that being said, like if he strongly believes that the Baltimore Ravens can go 15-2, that is very interesting.
I don't see that happening. That doesn't mean that they're not going to win the division or begin the players. I don't know. I don't see 15-2. But hey, if it does, good for them.
We're gonna have to holler at Rainer Raven sometime in the near future as far as I'm getting him back on the show to elaborate. Now Lamar Jackson's a beast. Okay. Where's Banks when you need him? But with that being said, we will be back Saturday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, man. It's hopefully this week for bets for everybody. That things will go a whole lot better than what it was this past week, because it came down to the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts for me. And like I was at the point that night, I didn't even finish watching the rest of the game. When they went to overtime, I was like, you know what, screw this game. I cannot believe.
I hear you, man.
My $910. My $910 went down the toilet when they scored in 22 unanswered points. And it all started off with that blocked field goal that Calais Campbell had. When he blocked that field goal, I was like, oh, yes, thank you. All you got to do is Indianapolis, just hold Baltimore to 3 points and just run the ball. And they were passing. That was the other thing. They were freaking passing in the fourth quarter with 7.7 minutes left in the game. Why are you passing? That makes no sense. But anyway, it was looking good at halftime. They was going under on it. It literally was looking good. Oh my goodness, it was looking good. But with that being said, again, like you can catch us Saturday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Be sure to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter page. Also, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and Spotify. Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, and all other major streaming platforms. This is the Not for the Bay podcast. We are up out of here, man.
Peace.